Okay, chapter 14, I Am Malala, the last one I've got annotated properly. Funny kind of piece. So, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Intertextual reference, we've got quotes and maxims. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. So that's a really nice idea from The Alchemist. Okay, so basically they've been killing people and things have gone okay. And then as soon as they closed the schools, because Malala and her father worked together to kind of produce something useful, but when they banned girls' education, sort of the world started to crack up on them a little bit. It was risky, but it was the only ambition I had back then. So it's to kind of, this is just an interesting sort of Bildungsroman Roman moment. So she's kind of come of age, and she kind of reflects back on the minor fears she had before. Some people are afraid of ghosts, some of spiders or snakes. In those days, we were afraid of our fellow human beings. Which is really problematic, as you might imagine. Sort of walk around fearful, and so a lot of the fear that they feel is very much fear of other people, fear of the world. How people traditionally fire rifles in the air in celebration of births and weddings, but even that has stopped during the conflict, so things have really gone pear-shaped, as it were. We've got some stuff, intertextual reference as well, but we've got some stuff, just sort of history in there. We said, okay, if that's what you want, as long as we can live our lives. So it's always, her activism is essentially very reasonable. She's not asking for anything impossible to supply. She merely wants to go about her life, which to her involves education as the first primary part of it. So if anything, the Taliban became even more barbaric. They were now state-sanctioned terrorists. So I think we talked about that earlier in a different chapter, about sort of how the language is important for who's doing what. And then that's also an example of corruption. So, alright, new laws. New laws, violence, burqa. So I'm not going to read these chunks out, but you get the idea. This is all sort of new rules, new systems, new problems. Islam teaches us to treat women politely, he said. Okay, so to me this section was really vivid, and I don't know if you could quote it or sort of use it in a discussion, but it very much serves kind of the conflict. So they kind of, there's a man, basically a viral video of a girl being beaten. She's sort of yelling out that she believes that what Islam should, in the name of Allah, I'm dying, please stop it, that sort of thing. So it's a really horrific event. You can see how Malala's activism would be kind of really brought home by that. There cannot be two swords in one sheath, there cannot be two kings in one land. Who is in charge here? The government or Fazullah? So just another nice quotable maxim that sort of represents his views. A surah from the Quran, and from memory a surah is like a musical poem type thing. We've got, again, peace be upon him. So she's doing kind of following the rules of mentioning the Prophet. Okay. So Western stuff is banned, basically is what that says, but also they even close religious sites, which to a Pashtun is quite offensive, as you might imagine. Got a little bit of violence, like always. I kind of wonder if you even need to annotate that at this point, because it happens so often. Alright, let the sun come and I will teach the cat a lesson. I will kill him. It seems like a bad omen, so foreshadowing again. So obviously all this is building up to the important moment that we realise is inevitable at this point if we know anything about Malala from other sources.